Why, hello everybody, and welcome to PlayFrame and this bonus Patreon video thing.
Yes.
Yay.
Hello.
So we've got a Patreon, first of all. Hello, and we've got this thing we do that when we reach certain milestones, like 200 or 300 or 400 patrons, we do a bonus video that we let y'all pick, or a bonus playthrough, like the Horizon Zero Dawn series we're doing right now.
Right.
This is the video for 300 patrons. We've got 500 plus now, so we're a little behind, but we're catching up. And y'all voted for this one's topic, or y'all voted for this bonus video to be our 5 favorite games. Yeah. So we're gonna just kind of like, it took a while coming up with a list, but I think we got one. So we're gonna just kind of go back and forth and talk about them a little bit.
Yeah.
Welcome to our podcast. This is weird.
Yes, it is.
It's weird not having a controller in my hand right now.
So,
Yes.
top 5 favorite games.
Yep.
What's your first one?
My first one. Okay, yes, I shall start. I am going to say my first one, and this is probably not a surprise to anybody who watched the playthrough of it somewhat recently, is Psychonauts.
What?
Yeah.
I'm so surprised.
I know. So, and the reason why I love Psychonauts, the many reasons, it really, if you watch the playthrough, you heard me ramble about it at length, but it's just such a special, unique thing, especially when it came out at its time. Like when I first played it, I had never really gotten into or fully experienced a Tim Schafer game. And so I kind of just stumbled into it not knowing what it was. I remember going out and like grabbing a rental of it back when that was a thing and bringing it home and putting it in. And within 15 or 30 minutes of play, or really just the opening cutscenes, I think you and I both decided that we need to get this immediately. We must own this. So we went right back out and purchased a copy and continued playing. And it's just such a... I love that, especially at that time, like well before the indie scene had really taken off. It was just such a unique thing in a unique setting, really unique visual style, and legitimately funny. So few games, even today, so few games are legitimately funny. Back then, fewer still. It was a rare thing. It was just a really original idea for a setting. And just, yeah, it was a special thing. Like, it's a little hard to go back and play now because as a game, it's like, it's not the best 3D platformer in the world, but man, I don't have a favorite game really, but for a long time, whenever anyone asked me what my favorite was, that's the one that I would say, just because I love the sheer originality of it. So, tell me of your first favorite game.
All right. So, first on my list is an old, like, long-time favorite of mine that I've been playing for, like, years and years and years since I was a kid. A game called The Sims. You may be familiar. It's kind of a big deal. No.
I mean, it is.
It is legitimately, like, there's a huge modding community out there for The Sims. There's a huge Let's Play community for The Sims. I have always just really enjoyed the kind of digital dollhouse aspect of playing around with Sims. But I also love the way that you kind of collaboratively create a story of what's happening with your characters through your input and then the game's AI, and just kind of letting weird things happen that you then kind of incorporate into this like story you're telling in a way.
Yeah, it just sort of like naturally emerges in ways that you didn't plan for.
It's going to be a theme with my list, but I have taken to calling it emergent narrative, and it's like the stories that fall out of your gameplay moments. Things like Dwarf Fortress, RimWorld.
Yeah.
Even PUBG has this. Like, you end your session of play and you're like, oh, I've got a story I could go tell to a friend. Heck, tabletop RPGs,
yeah, absolutely.
D&D, stuff like that. So many games have this, and I really love it, but Sims is one of the first places I found it.
It's kind of similar to like a D&D type thing, where there you're like sort of improv collaborating with friends, and in these games like RimWorld and The Sims, you're improv collaborating with an AI sort of script, like simulation.
And I have noticed a really interesting thing. I mentioned the modding community. There are a few mods out there specifically that are script level mods that affect how the game determines behavior when you're not controlling a sim. Deadpooler's MC Command Center and I think Polar Bear Sims' have some personality, please, are the two I'm thinking of mostly.
Yeah.
But little tweaks to how the game AI works actually has made Sims 4 a lot more fun for me than it was as a base game, like straight from EA. I feel like it's shaken up a little bit of the dynamics, and you see more a wider range of behaviors from your Sims. So if there's anyone out there who's into The Sims and hasn't tried those script mods, might want to check it out. Might not. People have their own opinions on modding, but yeah, I have really enjoyed that because it's added into this emergent narrative.
What was your favorite entry of The Sims?
Sims 3, I think.
It's a good pick.
Yeah, Sims 3.
3's a good pick.
I liked the open world. I loved the, like, load whatever flat 2D image you want in as a texture.
Oh, yeah.
And then apply it to, like, everything. That was really great.
That's too much power.
The, like, textures and the color selectors in 3 really made a huge difference because you could make really cool looking stuff or, like, get just the right hair color. And you can't do that with 4. It's a lot more locked down.
Yeah.
But
I do love the visual style in 4, but the control and flexibility and like power of variety is so integral to the appeal of what Sims is that, yeah, like 3 has that in spades.
Yeah, and hitting a place where you're like, oh geez, this is not quite the right color. This isn't the right pink for the hair I want this Sim to have. But to fix it, I would have to go like unpack the file in a third-party tool and pull out the texture file and alter it in Photoshop and then repackage it and add it as a new mod or a new custom content. And it's just a lot.
Yeah.
If there are easier ways to do this, let me know. So yeah, that's my first pick. How about your second?
My second pick is going to be Rock Band, because Rock Band was this huge deal for me for like a lot of different reasons. Like when I discovered Guitar Hero, but again, like it was already out. I didn't know it was coming ahead of time. I tried out the demo in a Best Buy and was just immediately floored because like it instantly clicked, like holding an actual physical like plastic guitar there and strumming and holding down frets and doing something that felt kind of like what I imagined playing a guitar felt like. To a non-guitar player, it felt amazing, and like just that kind of began my love of rhythm games. And like just bought that instantly, brought it home, played it tons, bought all the Guitar Hero games, like got to a point where I would just only ever play on Expert ever, just because playing a note for every note you heard in the song like just felt so much more like actually playing the song. But Rock Band was extra special because it was all the appeal of that, but also like the best karaoke. It's the best version of karaoke, actually, because in addition to singing, which is already fun, and Rock Band lets you do if you want to be singing, you can also play any other instrument you want. And there's lots of people who may not feel comfortable going and singing in front of their friends, but they'd probably feel comfortable like picking up a little piece of plastic and sort of playing bass so they can also participate. And they'll probably end up singing along too, because like when you're playing with a group, everyone in the room ends up kind of singing along with the song. You can inevitably find a song you like in that lineup, partly because they kept on adding like 3 DLC songs a week, and with every new Rock Band game, all the new Rock Band games were backwards compatible, so at least with the song selection, so you could keep on accruing a larger and larger library of songs to play. And like at this point, I have like thousands of Rock Band songs accrued. Like I don't play much anymore, but across 4 mainline Rock Band games and like Lego Rock Band and a bunch of others, like it just kept growing and growing. It was just such a regular weekly play habit for me for such a long time. And like another reason that Rock Band was so important for me was that I like played drums for a really long time, and playing drums in Rock Band is really similar to playing. If you play drums, then playing Rock Band drums, it's pretty easy to like mentally map what you're doing enough to where like playing Rock Band was basically actual drum practice for me. I could keep playing drums in Rock Band long after I'd started moving into apartments and couldn't have actual drum kits like around in my living space anymore. And I actually got better at drums for playing Rock Band just because like I learned new drum fills and rhythms and beats that I wouldn't have like tried out otherwise. And I also love how much love Harmonix puts into each one of these. Every Harmonix game is a love letter to music of some sort. And that's why I love just about everything they make. But Rock Band has just been a real special one for me. And I am sad that the big, like, plastic instruments genre burned out as fast as it did, because I would love for that to come back someday, frankly, because I enjoyed it. That gave me years of fun.
Yeah, it was years and years of those just being around the house out where you'd grab them once a week or more often.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play. It was great.
Like years of living in Georgia, a couple different cities in Georgia.
Yep.
Years in Vancouver, and then a little bit here too before it kind of, like, here in Seattle before it petered out.
Still together.
Yeah, I still have all this stuff.
Hidden in a closet.
Yeah, it has to, like, once a year I'll kind of have a hankering and, like, pull it back out and play a bit more, but yeah, it's a good time. But what is your second game?
My second game is another, like, small indie developer title that you maybe haven't heard of, called Minecraft.
Right. A real up-and-comer.
I'm sorry. That's such an old joke. Minecraft has a lot of the same appeal. If The Sims is my digital dollhouse, Minecraft is my digital Lego set.
Yeah.
Like, I love that
Actually,
game.
on that, like, you say that, are you into creative mode or are you into survival mode more?
It varies.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I started off playing the game when it was still in alpha, like back in the early 2000 teens, like 2010, 2011, somewhere in that range.
I remember that. Yeah, I think that was when my phase happened too.
Yeah, because we found out about it at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was just such a whole world that you could create whatever you wanted. Like, the excitement of exploration and building and all the possibilities really got me. And I still love it so much.
It's a special thing.
It's just like, I can't get the same new experience again with it, and that bums me out every time I try and play. But that's okay. It's still a wonderful, great game that you can do so much in.
It really is.
I used to play survival, did a ton of that back when you were playing and well after. But more recently, and it's been a few years since we did this, more recently, my nieces don't live in the same city or state as I do. And when they were like 5 and 8, we used to play Minecraft together on a creative server. And it gave us a chance to do things together and build things together that we never would have the option of doing.
Yeah.
If we didn't have Minecraft and also, like, the internet.
That was really great.
It was amazing. We used to do, like, a couple hours every week or two and play hide and seek and, like, build ridiculous things. Turns out that my nieces were not really great at 3D building, but we built a 2-dimensional pirate ship at one point.
Aw.
It was just tons of fun. And it was so fun for them to learn the system, like, kind of an introduction to how video games work and how you learn and build on your knowledge base.
I'm really happy that Minecraft is that game that so many kids from several generations now are learning from.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty
cool.
great.
It's a good one for that to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that definitely, between all of the hours of fun I've had playing it and all of the hours of fun I've had playing with my nieces in it, that's definitely up there on my favorites list.
Yeah.
How about your third?
My third one is another one that's not a surprise to anybody who's been watching this channel a while, is Monster Hunter.
Yes.
I love Monster Hunter. I'm not good at Monster Hunter, which is also the other thing you'll know if you've been watching this channel a while, but boy do I love Monster Hunter. I, like, discovered Monster Hunter, like, I've been playing it since the first one came out on the PS2 way back in the day. And I've been steadily playing casually all of them pretty badly, but man, I love it. I love that such a weird, it's a really weird series, a weird niche series that, like, blew up in Japan a long time ago and finally caught on here. And I love that. I love that it is, like, Monster Hunter World especially is such a wonderfully fun time. It is challenging, it is beautiful to look at, it is extremely fun to play with friends, and it's easier to play with friends than it's ever been. I don't do a whole lot of online gaming with buddies and friends, but Monster Hunter is one that for a couple of years now, I've gotten in some good sessions with friends. Not consistently, but like it's still happening. And it is exquisitely animated. It brings a really unique gameplay experience. Like I can't think of another game that feels like Monster Hunter. And it's just, they've been polishing and refining that experience. Well, I say that. They've been like very slowly iterating on that experience and then just like did a huge polish pass all at once on Monster Hunter World. And I am loving the heck out of it. I'm so thrilled that this, what was once a niche thing, is now a massive AAA success because I want there to be more of it and I'm almost certain there will be.
Man.
So Monster Hunter just makes me happy. It's a great time.
It has that same, for me as a viewer, it has that same like emergent narrative appeal.
Yeah.
Because you go on hunts and then you get together with friends later and like tell your stories. Or like, didn't Lil and Soraya have something about like getting one monster to headbutt the other and how cool that was in the moment? And it's like you leave the actual gameplay with these narratives in your head that are just really fun.
Yeah, I don't frequent any place with a water cooler, but if I did, I would tell such stories there.
Yes, stories of your hunts told around the water cooler, as is tradition.
I guess we need to buy a water cooler.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we do have the fridge.
We do have the fridge, and there's water in it.
Yeah,
so
it is cooling the water.
I guess I'll have to just invite some friends over to tell a story by there.
If you want, we can, when we wrap up here, we can just go talk.
It'd be a lot more convenient if I could just call them and tell them about Monster Hunter, but fine, we got to bring them over to the fridge.
Yeah. It's required. I'm sorry.
Anyway, what's your third favorite?
My third favorite is maybe a legit dark horse, like out of nowhere, because it's a mobile game. It's called Merge Dragons, and
Ooh.
I'm kind of obsessed. I've been playing it on and off for, I think, a couple of years at this point. But
I suspect a lot of people, some people listening will definitely be like, "Oh yeah," and some other people will be like, "Oh what?" So
yeah,
like, what's the quick summary on Merge Dragons?
To it, it is basically plays kind of like Triple Town did, where you're in like a kind of isometric top down and you're merging things together to make other things. So like the very basics of it are a lot like Triple Town's merge mechanics.
Okay.
But instead of having levels where you're trying to trap or like build out an area to the fullest extent, you've just got a whole bunch of items that create different, that have different levels, different chains that you can go up. So you've got dragon eggs, and if you merge them, you get dragons. And if you merge those dragons, you get higher leveled dragons, and up and up.
Okay.
If you've got little flowers, then you merge them to make bigger flowers and bigger flowers. And then you use your dragons to harvest from the flowers, and you get these life orbs. And you merge the life orbs up to get bigger life orbs.
I'm starting to get the idea. Okay.
Yeah.
So what makes this one click?
Well, the other thing it has, and what drew me to it, was the fact that in playing the game, your goal is to restore the world. You're given a very small play area at first in your home base, and part of the mechanics of the game are unlocking areas and then using those life orbs to... when you unlock them, they get revealed, and when you use the life orbs, they get actually cured of their curse, so they're no longer grayed out and you can actually interact with the objects there. It'll make sense with the visuals. It doesn't right now while we're recording because I can see your face and how confused you look.
Okay. Yes.
But it will make sense with the visuals on screen once we've done the recording.
Gotcha. Okay.
You'll see it. I have a blast with this little thing. It just like hits this perfect niche of wanting to organize things. You can just sit around and mindlessly do and organize and feel like you're making progress on something when you're not at all.
Yeah.
Which is a great feeling sometimes. It's also got like some of the most gentle monetization efforts that I have ever seen in a mobile game. So I've put money towards this game out of choice but I've never felt like I had to win or to get to another level or anything like that. It's always just been, I really am enjoying this. Sure, I'll throw $5 at it.
Yeah, that's usually my philosophy for most of games like that.
Right. There are a few things that I've unlocked through money, through actual real world dollars. There are a couple of little like island territories that you can unlock. They give you a little more space in your home map, but that's really the only thing I've ever felt like I really wanted to buy, and even without those, I could still be playing the whole game. Like, those aren't necessary for playing or for getting further along or anything like that.
And you've been playing it for a long time too, actually.
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an idle game for me as well,
sure.
because I can walk away and leave it and then come back and have a whole bunch more chaos that's created for me to organize.
Yeah, like I definitely can understand that. Like my little idle game that I occasionally, like once a year or once every 6 months or whatever, dip back into is like Idle Champions, and it's there's not a whole lot of gameplay to it really. It's just fun seeing progress happen every now and then, periodically in between other tasks. So I totally get it.
Is that your fourth?
Nope. No, it's not.
No, what's your fourth game?
My fourth game is, and this one's, I guess it's a little more niche. Actually, no, it's a lot more niche. This one was a 3DS game called Picross 3D Round 2. So most of you have probably encountered Picross before. It's that sort of like little puzzle game where everything's in a little grid, and you look at numbers to fill out certain little boxes in that grid, and when you solve the puzzle, it ends up being a little picture.
Yeah,
which is
some people may know it as a nonogram.
Yeah.
Because they go by both names.
Yeah. So that game's very fun, and like I've enjoyed plenty of those as well. This is basically that translated into 3D, and you're seeing footage of it right now, so you get it. But instead of drawing in a picture as you're solving the puzzle, you are carving out a sculpture from a block. And
okay, that's really cool.
It's really cool, and for whatever reason, this game, like this puzzle game, clicks for me. I have played this game for so many hours. I have played all the puzzles through. I've gone back and gotten the highest rank possible on all of these puzzles. I have gone back again just to beat my old time getting the highest rank on all these puzzles. It's basically like, it's not a game that I am just like sitting and wanting to play all the time. It's the one that I play when I need to retreat and just like kind of zen out a little bit. It's a very like calming game. It's got nice music, and it's just it's the kind of puzzle game that doesn't demand a whole lot of really difficult thinking. It's just sort of like you can really get into a flow with it. And it bums me out that there's not more of this. I want a sequel like for the Switch really bad. There is this was round 2. There was an original Picross 3D for the DS, and I'm playing some of that as well. I don't like it quite as much, but it's nice just having a little bit more. I wish they would make another one, because it is just such a wonderful little game, and it is so good for relaxing me if I'm just in a stressful situation or a stressful mood and just need to zen out a little bit.
Come on, Nintendo. Make round 3, you cowards.
Round 3, please. Anyway, tell me of your fourth pick.
So, my fourth pick is also kind of a chill out game for me. Like a calming, relaxing, just a nice, easy thing to play and have fun with. Is Stardew Valley. I mean, it's nice and fun and relaxing until someone fills your farm with blueberries and you can't enter the next harvest without spending all your energy maintaining the blueberries they planted. I was helpful.
And I made myself essential. Yes.
So essential that we haven't played in ages.
Good luck getting rid of me.
I'm going to get Dan Jones to come and take care of your blueberries, and we're going to play, and you're not going to be allowed in.
Calling in a ringer.
Yes, a different Dan.
That's a sound strategy.
I'm not going to
Dan Jones, how's your blueberry game?
Are you on point with the blueberries, Dan Jones? We shall see. I think that, like my others, this one is, or several of my others, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, there's a ton of cool, fun farming and collection and crafting and relationship management that you get to do in Stardew. And it just, the no-fail aspect of this game is so very freeing.
It's so nice.
It's so nice. Like
that would have ruined the game if they.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. It's not that you can't even just fail. You can't even lose progress or backslide even.
you can a little bit. If you die or you fall asleep somewhere, you can lose money and items.
That's true. Like a little, but there's also
it's
like
not
no
much.
time limit. You
Yeah.
can just keep on going. And you can set your own goals. Like, if
On
any
the
of those things
downside-
weren't true, I wouldn't have enjoyed it nearly as much.
On the downside, there's no time limit, which means it falls prey to the potato chip style, oh, just one more day, just
Oh,
one
yeah.
more day, just one more day.
Yep.
And then the whole bag is gone, or you're up until 5.
Except this bag doesn't end.
It never ends, except that then the sunlight is coming out and your husband is coming down to get ready for work in the morning
But
and
you still got chips.
looking at me and asking me why I'm up this late playing Stardew Valley. No, it's fine. Nothing. What? That's never happened with Stardew Valley. Specifically. But yeah, I think it's a great game. I understand the modding community on Stardew is also quite extensive. And like with Sims and with Minecraft, they keep on creating more things. There's more stuff. There's more content constantly. So much I can't keep up with it.
Yeah. Even if you're not following the modding community, the creator is still
Yeah, that's what I'm
actively
saying.
at work on that thing.
Yeah.
Like,
In all 3 of those cases, there's a great modding community and the original, like the official creations are continuing to get updated.
yeah.
So it's just great.
It's real good. Anybody who somehow hasn't tried out Stardew Valley yet, it is like, it's the best version of that game experience
Yeah.
I've ever encountered,
If
and it's
you're-
wonderful.
If you're into Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, those kinds of games, My Time at Portia was
Yeah,
another
Rune
one.
Factory and
Rune Factory. This is in that same vein and just so gentle and kind and nice and easy. Not easy, like gentle is the best way I can term it. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't put you through a ringer to keep you playing or
Yeah.
to make you
I
feel
think even
your failure.
I think even easy could be a fair ranking, so long as you're not going for like blueberry percent.
Right. If you're going for blueberry percent, then
And we're on pace.
good luck. Yeah, we are. I'm gonna make so much jam one day.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I didn't say thank you.
It was implied.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your 5th game.
All right. My 5th game, which I don't know if this will be a surprise to anybody. My 5th game is newer, and it is Hollow Knight. And it's
Ooh.
like, for all the reasons that, again, I've talked about liking Hollow Knight and the Hollow Knight playthrough, which is still one of my favorite playthroughs on this channel and probably will be forever. That's actually honestly why it's one of my favorite games now. Like, in addition to being an exquisite game in just about every way, and beautiful to look at, beautiful to listen to, just feels good in your hands, just a great game. I'd have enjoyed it anyway, but my first experience with it was playing it actually here on PlayFrame and getting to experience also everyone's reaction to it, and like it was just for whatever the experience of Let's Playing Hollow Knight made that first time experience even more special and memorable. Like I treasure that playthrough, and it makes Hollow Knight even more fun to return to. And that's also the other thing. Like, I'm not the kind of person who finishes a game and usually feels like, I want to go play it again. Usually by the time I finish a game, I'm feeling done with it, or I'm not wanting to, I certainly not want to do a whole playthrough again, but
You're not a completionist.
I'm not. And I'm also not the kind of person who wants to do like challenge runs usually, or
Yeah.
so I just like, I finish a game, I move on. I got so many other games I want to play. But with Hollow Knight, like, that's a game that I'd be happy to go back into. Like, I want to try like a Steel Soul run sometime. I'm never interested in doing randomizer runs, but that one I think I'd actually really dig trying to do a randomized run in Hollow Knight. It's just such a fun, special thing. I'm so glad that it was a success. I'm so glad that Silk Song is going to be a thing. So I guess thank you all for helping to make Hollow Knight an even more special game to me, because it would have been a great game anyway, but now it's a great game that I have a lot of fond memories with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, for me, the actual act of recording changes just a little bit how I think about the game.
Absolutely.
because I always want to be, I don't want to be down on the hard work and effort that people have put into these. And so when we actually sit down to do a Let's Play, I want to be positive about what I'm seeing and highlight the things I like best, which means I'm always looking at whatever game we're playing in its best possible light.
Yeah.
And even something as little as that kind of changes my experience with it because I'm looking for the good. It's easy to go into a game looking for what isn't going to make you happy about it. I guess it's easy to go into anything in life looking for what doesn't make you happy.
Sure, yeah.
And kind of shifting that to a positive focus, for me, is significant.
Yeah, the same. And I find that like when you're Let's Playing a thing, you're inherently pouring some of yourself and bringing some of yourself into your playthrough of it. And that makes it feel like you start feeling a sense of not ownership, but just like additional participation in it that I guess it's kind of hard to describe, but like the fact that in the Hollow Knight playthrough, the Bug Knight character sort of thing came out and was a really fun thing to do that I wouldn't have done that if I was just playing the game by myself. That was a thing that happened because I was sort of Let's Playing and performing for like an audience at the same time. And it brought a whole new level of fun out of that game experience that I wouldn't have had otherwise.
And it's funny because it's not just a performance thing. That's something that's come out as you and I have played games together.
Yeah, that's true
like,
also.
If you had just played Hollow Knight with me sitting and watching, there's a good chance that Bug Knight would have shown up.
That's possible.
That kind of thing has happened in the past.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not some crafted thing that you thought about making.
Very true. It was very off the cuff. but just even sometimes just reading the lines can make a difference. We're kind of rambling now, but we just finished recording Later Alligator not too long ago, and that would have been a fun game anyway, but the fact that we were just like actually giving voices to all those characters and reading the lines out loud just because we were Let's Playing it made it twice as fun, I think.
Yes.
So, yeah,
for sure. Coming up with goofy voices for all of those characters.
Yeah. I guess that's a different topic of just why Let's Playing a game makes it feel a little more special. But that's why Hollow Knight is so special to me. And that's something that I also owe all of you some thanks for. So, yeah, again, thank you all for that.
Yeah.
Now tell me, once the cars shut up, tell me of your fifth game. Cars go away.
Can I do a couple of honorable mentions first?
Yeah, actually, that's the thing. I guess we should have said at the beginning. Like, we picked 5 games here, ones that are special to us or have significance. We got a lot more than 5 favorite games. Like, it was really hard narrowing it down.
Pick your favorite anything is like very difficult for me.
Absolutely, yeah. These were just 5 games that felt noteworthy or special, kind of in my life experience. But there's so many other games that are worth mentioning. Yeah.
So honorable mention. That is very much in the same vein of your Hollow Knight playthrough was my playthrough of Celeste.
Yeah.
Like, heck, that was a great game. And playing it, knowing that other people were watching and seeing other people's excitement about my accomplishments was huge.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I could have gotten through that game without our play friends. And without that as a reason to keep going. That's a tough mountain to climb.
Yeah.
And having community support made a huge difference.
That was a cool thing.
That was really awesome. I also have, like, the old Civ games.
Oh, yeah.
Final Fantasies 11 and 14 for being one, my first, and probably the other, my last MMOs.
Good bookends.
Yeah. Great bookends. Like, another mobile game I really enjoy called Lolo. I got plenty of other games I love.
You're hacking the system here. You're listing a lot more than 5 games.
I know. I said honorable mentions. But
quite the loophole.
The absolute, like, all-time favorite game for me has got to go to Undertale.
Yeah.
For being so emotionally laden.
That's a special one.
I think everyone who's a fan of the game had their own, like, emotional experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like a game perfectly built to bring out emotional experiences.
Yeah.
Like, it plays into that really well. And because of the unique types of characters you run into and how lovable and appealing they all are, despite their very obvious flaws and mistakes that can be made, I don't know, everything about that game really touched me, and seeing the fan reception of characters who are less than perfect. Like, I got pretty into Undertale and then into a lot of like alternate universe theories and a certain amount of fanfics that we're not going to talk about, but just how much people loved these characters, even though I could see my own flaws in them. It actually kickstarted my journey exploring mental health in a lot of ways. And I kind of end up at a loss of words for how much I love Undertale.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how to verbalize it.
It is an instant classic special thing. Wonderful soundtrack. Again, the rare game that is legit very funny.
Yeah.
I suspect, like, Undertale, like, we've both played it, so we can't do a first-time playthrough of it, obviously. I suspect it'll probably show up on the channel at some point, because I think Deltarune should, and it feels weird doing one without the other, but I don't know. That's not a thing for any time soon, but
yeah,
maybe someday.
Maybe.
But I think that's all of it.
Yeah,
I think we did them all. That's all 5 games. Thank you all very much for watching this or listening to this. It's watching. There's video.
Yeah. There will be video.
There will be video. That's your problem.
Will be video eventually.
Yes.
That I will make do good.
Thank you so much again to our patrons for being patrons, and then also for
all the support.
For selecting this video topic, because this was a good fun one. They've already selected the next one also, which we need to get recording because again we're a little behind.
Oh my gosh, you went so fast though. It's not our fault we fell behind. You went so much faster than we ever thought you would. So much faster. Yeah, we're again, Horizon Zero Dawn is was the 200 patron incentive playthrough sort of thing, and we're still going. It's long. We've got another bonus video to work on, another bonus playthrough that y'all unlocked for 500. Oh my gosh.
We're eking towards 600. So if y'all are watching this and you are interested in becoming a patron, then you can feel free to support for any amount you want, and because just being a patron adds to the number of patrons and gets us closer to more little bonus things like this. So
this is not based on a dollar amount. It's based on the number of people who are patrons of ours.
Yeah.
So things unlock as we get more people.
Yeah.
Which means that if you aren't interested in becoming a patron and you would like some way to support us, still, like being part of the community and encouraging other people to join in and support if they can is also another way you can go.
Yeah. But yep, that's it. So thank you all very much for watching / listening, and we'll see you next time for another thing.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.